Hello and welcome. This is my office here at my Dung Beetle crane factory. It's also my home studio, so that's why I have the cool backdrops. A lot of people have been reacting to some of my videos, especially my tour of the factory. I believe one person said, what was it? If you put Elvis and Johnny Cash DNA together and made a baby, I guess I was the result. I actually kind of like that one. I won't argue with that. I thought I'd make this video just to kind of let you know who I am and who you might be dealing with if you wanted to buy one of these dung beetle cranes. So I'll tell you a little about myself. I live here in Able Springs, Texas, out in the country, in this 107-year-old house. It was built in 1918. I've lived here about 35 years. I was born in Dallas and moved here to the Terrell area when I was about 9 years old. Lived here ever since. I've left a few times, but always came back. My dad and brothers were in the ceramic tile business. And the summer we moved here, I turned 10, and when school let out, instead of what had gone on in the past, my dad took me along and had to be helper and stand there and handle tile and go get buckets, what have you. And he paid me $1 a day. In 1968, that $5 a week was a big thing to a kid, and you learn the worth of $1 pretty quick, and I did. So I was 13. I went to work at Sonic as a car hop and worked there till I was 15. I had to get a work permit from a judge to do that back then. Sonic introduced me to the music of the day. Because up until that point, I was big on Elvis, but I pretty much didn't listen to anything else. But my sisters handed me down 45s and Elvis. There was a few others I was into. But anyway, yeah, the Sonic introduced me to the music of the day. And now I'm not going to deny the way I look, and it's not just a look thing. I've been performing as Elvis now. My first show was in 1983. I made a living at it, and it's always been at least a supplement to whatever I was doing, whether it was selling cars, painting cars, fixing cars, laying tile, all forms of construction. I've worked at a sewer plant when I got out of the Air Force, a sawmill. I've had some dirty jobs, so I wore many hats. Let's see, where am I heading on that? In about 1980, I invented, I was in the ceramic tile business, and I'd been fooling with fiberglass. I'd made a fender for a car that I couldn't find a fender for, and thought it was neat that you could mold something. Anyway, I come up with a process to make shower enclosures and bathroom things like that look like tile, because back then they didn't. Everything was just smooth, a few pastel colors. So I came up with a process for that. I was only about 22 years old. Matter of fact, I dug it out here. Here it is. This is fiber tile. It's my old U.S. patent. Give you a look there. Anyway, what fiber tile was, it was fiberglass shower enclosures. And anyway, I paid a fortune into a patent attorney, and then I thought I was going to get rich. Didn't happen. I went and presented my product once I got a patent pending to one of the larger fiberglass shower companies. I'm not going to mention their name, but they said they wasn't interested. And within a year, they had it on the market, and you can't fight the big guys. I found that out. So, although my entire life I'd been kind of a inventor type from 2 or 3, well, at least 3 or 4 years old, I'll be realistic. I was started taking things apart. I take the blender apart and anything, and television, but I could put it back together, and I soaked that in. I wanted to build things, and I came up with a lot of ideas after the fiber tile, but kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. So a lot of ideas went to the wayside because I just thought somebody would take them away from me again. Anyway, let's see. I've been I owned a car lot here for 25 years. It was actually a classic car yacht, a classic car lot, and I had a little line of credit, and it allowed me to buy and own and drive the cars that really I had a passion for, but not a bank account for. But I didn't get, I can paint and fix, build motors and all that. So I get an old car, and I've been doing that since I was a kid. And I always had some old car that I was fixing up to flip, make a few dollars. I got one now. Anyway, closed my car lot here in 18, and decided, well, I'm getting older, and I was going to just sing a little bit to supplement my Social Security. And that was the only income I had coming along, and then COVID came, and that eliminated that, and things got tight, and we had to drop our homeowner's insurance. I hate it, but 100-year-old wooden house, but we had to because we couldn't pay for it. And then here come the storms, tornadoes, high winds, snow, ice. They just hit us relentlessly, one time after another. So there I was with trees laying on the house, all this, and no help. And the ground was super saturated too. If it had any heavy equipment, it would have sunken into the yard to try to get close. So I had an old cherry picker sitting in my garage. I've had it for 30 years or so. Didn't use it a lot anymore. Those things will pick up a lot of weight. So I fashioned some bigger blow-up wheels on it, 13-inch wheels. And I put a trailer hitch on it. I made the boom a little longer, and I pulled it around here with my mower, and I was absolutely astonished at what I was able to do with this thing. I was picking up trees that had to weigh, way over 1,000 pounds, maybe 2,000 or 3,000 pounds. Some of these things were monstrous, and it worked great. So I started to work on them, and hone it in, and then I made one for a friend of mine, and it worked great for him, and he wanted another, and I built him another, and started to think, well, maybe there's a chance that this old brain might get somewhere like that anyway, after all. So I named it the Dung Beetle crane. They come to me in the middle of the night. Dung Beetle is the strongest living creature on Earth, and they can lift like 1,100 times their own weight. So that's where the name come from. And we know they move stuff all day long. So the Dung Beetle crane, once I put it out there on the internet, people were reacting to it quite a bit. Some of the videos I'd made of me moving these trees and all kinds of things around with it. It was too much to ship, and these cherry pickers, they're available all over the place, and they're not very expensive, and a lot of people have one sitting in their garage just like I did. So I came up with the Dung Beetle crane conversion kit. Now, the kit is completely bolt-on, and it only uses 2 or 3 sizes of wrenches, and anybody with just the least little bit of mechanical skills, certainly if you can put that crane together as it comes in the box from like Harbor Freight or something, that's my favorite one to use. Their 2-ton is my desired one for best bang for buck, and you get good use out of it, and this kit will bolt right on it. But there's several units that it'll fit. If you have bolt-on caster wheels, it's probably going to work fine for you. And if you've watched some of the videos, you've seen me reaching up high in trees with a electric chainsaw on a pole. That worked great. I was able to just stand back and sip my tea while it would cut through big limbs and let them drop while I stood back in a safe place. I've raised signs with it, unloaded all kinds of things from vehicles, refrigerators, and toolboxes and what have you. And they're getting out there. I've sent them to every corner of the U.S. and I'm getting good feedback. And I'm just one man here in my garage, and I'm cutting steel the old-fashioned way, and I'm using an old drill press. I'm sure in the near future I'll hopefully, if my sales of these kits can outrun what I can make here in the shop, I'll have some, you know, some of the big boys make pieces for me, but that's a little bit down the road. I gotta make some money first. So I guess that's about it. I hope I didn't bore you. Uh, until next time, I'm Robert Street, and I make the Dung Beetle Crane kit. And go to my website at dungbeetlecrane.com, and you can look at the kit and some of the videos. And hopefully you'll buy one, and I'll be glad to wrap it up and send it to you and talk with you on the phone or anything you need to know. And that's it. So thank you very much.